Hi, my name is Jasmine Saunders, and today I'm going to talk to you about behavior principle of antecedents. What are antecedents, you may ask? Well, antecedents can be considered things, people, events, words, or even a tone of voice that cue or precede certain operant behaviors. Antecedents can range from being a sound, a smell, an environment, and even people. So if you look at this, there's an antecedent is what happens prior to the behavior of concern. So, television watching. You're watching the television, and then you feel the need to have a snack, even though you just had dinner. That would be the television would be the antecedent of that behavior. Or say that you're going out with friends, and you may have a little bit of alcohol with your time with your friends, and you feel the need to have a cigarette. Going out with your friends and drinking with them may be the antecedent for that behavior. So, what are antecedents? If you look at them again, they're a person. They could be a certain person that comes into a room that makes you feel or do a certain thing. They could be an event that makes you act a certain way, a command that you may not like or like that causes you to react in a certain manner or behave in a certain manner, a sound that brings up a certain behavior. There could be a place that makes you act a certain way, a smell, there's a phrase, or just even some kind of general situation. So here are some just visual representations. Down in the left-hand corner, there's a woman with a frown. Sometimes just someone giving you a certain face can make you react in a certain way. There are examples where in a relationship, a husband or wife giving an ugly look or distasteful look will make the spouse just overreact and be very angry and say mean things. There's a child that may, in this corner, that may say, oh, is being commanded to not do something, and they may yell and scream because of it. Of course, there's junk food that's in the house, so you may just eat it. There's a school bell. The school bell rings, and you automatically close up your books as a student and put them away and walk out the door because you know what that means. And a television can be a cue for eating the junk food in this photo. So, why are antecedents important? It is important to identify antecedents of behavior because they can reveal the circumstances of how and why a behavior is stimulated. So, it's good to know why it is that this antecedent is there or what these antecedents are so that you can control them or just modify them so that you don't do the behavior that you would prefer not to do. So this is just a few examples of antecedents in the behavior, and these are ones that I've actually already spoken about. So television can lead to snacking. Alcohol can also lead to smoking in your behavior. And a command of no can lead to screaming and shouting in a child, maybe even an adult. Here's a fictional example of an antecedent leading to a certain behavior that I found. Midsummer Murders is a crime TV show based out of the United Kingdom, and they deal with all kinds of different situations. However, in this episode, the Oblong Murders, they discuss the death of a couple on a boat. The boat blew up, and they try to figure out, was it just an accident? Did someone try to kill them? How did it work? Well, the detectives pictured here went and spoke with the daughter of the two pictured in the photograph. And she discussed how her mother could not go without a cigarette while in a social situation, while drinking alcohol, or while taking a telephone call. After thinking about this for a while, the detectives figured out that whoever killed her parents knew that her mother had this antecedent for smoking. And so what had happened was that that person had gone onto the boat of her parents, had cut the gas line, and had then phone called her mother. And her mother, of course, because it is her habit, said, hold on a second, let me just go do this. And so she went and she lit a cigarette, and of course, her boat blew up. It was just a very interesting example of an antecedent to behave. So, antecedent interventions. Avoiding antecedents. These are different ways of modifying old antecedents. So you can avoid an antecedent. There's reperceiving antecedents. There's narrowing antecedents. And so for this, just looking at it, life application, let's look at overeating and avoiding junk food. So you could avoid the antecedent by removing junk food from the home. avoid places where one could purchase junk food as much as possible. So that could be you don't have any junk food in your house, you do not go to the donut shop, you avoid the ice cream shop, maybe you avoid the junk food aisles in the supermarket. You can narrow your antecedent control. So control an antecedent to a certain situation, such as maybe you only eat cake on your birthday or on other people's birthdays. I guess that could be a problem if you have a ton of friends, but just like narrow it to certain events, such as like the Super Bowl for certain junk foods, or going out with friends, special occasions. That is a time that you would eat certain foods. Reperceiving antecedents would be when an antecedent cannot be avoided or narrowed. One can change the way they think about it. So you can think about something in a very different manner, such as when it comes to overeating or eating junk food. A person can think that, change their thoughts and think, I don't think I like that food right now. Or I don't have to eat that because I'm full. Or that food just doesn't look that great to me right now. Or here, let me push it off. I will just not eat this for an hour. And then every hour, just keep telling yourself that. So, in conclusion, antecedents can be cues for certain behaviors, antecedents can be modified, and behavior change can happen. Learning how to control your antecedents and modify them, learning what those antecedents are, you can start making behavioral changes that are positive for you. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed listening today, and have a great day.